This project is called Dialogos, which in English means to dialogue, to chat, to talk, to an exchange of ideas, and we call it a journey of dance, poetry and music. Well, this project has been funded by the Emergency Program for Artists by the Arts Council of Northern Ireland, and that has allowed us the time and the creative space to be developing this project. It tells our artistic stories, our journeys, but it also goes into our personal stories. Victor and me, as an artist from Latin America, me from Mexico and Victor from Chile, and coming to live in Belfast and experience all this encounter with the Irish culture and bringing our own culture, which is Latin.
Dialogos is a collaboration between Maite Segura and myself, a choreographer and dancer, a musician, both of us from Latin America, different parts of Latin America. And the idea was to come together and think and talk about what it meant for us to experience life in Northern Ireland as outsiders who have settled here, coming from Latin America as artists in the middle of this extremely unusual time with the pandemic.
For me, it was important to create this piece, this collaboration. I always wanted to work with Victor because I have seen him playing and he's an amazing musician. So luckily he accepted, and we actually have this beautiful synergy together. And so we together for a couple of months sit and chat and play and read and create this beautiful piece made of both ideas about music, but also about movement and also about poetry. And we choose Cesar Vallejo, which is a poet from Peru, as one of the main frames for the composition.
We talked about cultural differences between Northern Ireland and Mexico and Chile, but even between Chile and Mexico. So difference and similarity are two things that just never seemed to be easy to pin down. And so it's always a journey. As we meet somebody else, as we work with someone else, we're journeying across to where they are, and we are all little universes. So that was those were some of the ideas we were working with. Our hope was to come together, to talk, to dialogue, so that we could find not necessarily answers, but so we could explore meaning through our art forms and then put together a performance resulting from that encounter. The idea of journey, of course, is hugely central to the project. As Maite and I met week after week to talk and compare experiences, it was very interesting to see how we felt about really important issues that have to do with belonging to a place.
The performance is about our personal journeys, our artistic experience, so it's going to take the audience into this journey. So it is starting a very folkloric traditional piece of dance and music, which is called a petenera, a very specific place from Mexico, and it has a very special meaning for me as coming from that specific part of the Mexican culture. Then it takes us into our evolution into the Irish dance, and then it transformed into me as a contemporary dancer. That's what I was trained in Mexico and also in Northern Ireland. It's a full transformation and a full merging for us into the beauty of this country that adopts us. Well, there is lots of symbolism in this piece. It starts with the costumes, because in Mexico every part of the costume is important. The costumes that I'm portraying in the first part of the piece are handmade, which means they have itself one piece of the soul of the Mexican artisan that made it, and all this symbolism is transformed into the piece, from the instruments that we choose to use in the piece, from the shoes I go into using shoes and then using my bare feet to express all the rhythms in the piece. And Victor, also you are gonna see that he changes a lot of instruments. He go into the charango and the back into the ukulele and all these things. I think that was very important for us.
This is the charango. It's a traditional instrument from South America, from the Andean Plateau, the highlands of South America, Peru, Bolivia, northern Argentina, Chile. I also play ukulele and other instruments, but mostly these. And so it was natural for me to use these instruments for arranging and composing some of the music. Maide and I wanted to bring in the traditional Latin American element. But as I was in the middle of this, I had an experience that was very interesting for me. I was thinking about all these issues around the journey across cultures, the journey from the periphery to the center and back, the pandemic, the uncertainty, a threat to our people's health. And then I began thinking, what is this threat? And it felt like it was a threat to the air we breathe, because it's an airborne virus. And I thought, that is significant. That is significant. People can't hug each other. People can't touch each other. We are physically isolating ourselves from one another, not because of something physical, but because of something airborne. So I thought about the flute, and I thought about an airborne virus, and I thought, yeah, it comes in through the airways. And I thought, oh, breathing is really important. And I felt that the instruments I play, the guitar, the uke, the charango, and all these things are great, and I feel confident playing them, but I felt I needed to express some vulnerability, the weakness, feeling not confident, feeling weak and fragile. And for me, that came through the idea of perhaps playing the flute again.
Well, my journey coming from Latin America to here was very interesting, coming as an artist and moving as well as an individual, trying to start a new life, but also trying to find my place in the artistic world in Northern Ireland.
Pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, I think, is one of the most fundamental aspects of art practice. There's no point. There's no point in trying to perform anything if you are feeling fully confident. I don't think any performer would ever say they feel fully confident about anything.
Well, we decided to use the Irish culture because we love living here. We have our families here, we have children here. My daughter considers herself Irish.
I suggested the jig. It makes me think of a butterfly fluttering about. As I saw Maite do her very visual art form, and it's so colorful, and all those beautiful dresses that she's made herself, it's hard not to see her as a butterfly. And so the link with the butterfly, the jig, was very simple, very emotional at that level, really. As you settle in a new culture, you quickly enough establish where the center is, where the mainstream is, and you position yourself somewhere along this continuum, close. You may want to be very close to the center. Some people may choose, or some people may not have the choice. They remain on the periphery for different reasons. Maida and I felt that we both have become quite good at transversing that distance between the periphery and the center.
During the piece, we use a lot of circular movements, spirals, coming in and out of the concentric small circles, which is giving us idea of I guess it's like the life, a metaphor of like coming always inside a place and going out to find a better place to live. So that's basically what we play around that idea in the piece.
I understand that need to transverse, to travel, to journey. So the piece seeks to address some of these issues, how we sometimes feel closer to the center, sometimes we feel on the periphery. So we've tried to capture some of those feelings of turning around, something around circling around the center, sometimes feeling further away from it, sometimes feeling closer to it.
We're here in Botany because this place is the one that we use for our creation, either because we decided because of the lockdown, all the studios and places inside were closed. So we just used this beautiful landscape, and here we got it all our ideas. We got inspiration for the green grass, from the flowers, from the people passing by and seeing us, being interested and asking us, what are you doing? What is your instrument? What is your skirt? So we bring all the stuff here. Everything was born and created around this space.
So we feel very settled here. I feel very proud to be a resident of Belfast, for example. And I love this place, and I sometimes hate it as the best of them.
I love the project from the beginning, from all the journey. I think I'm very pleased with the final piece, but also with the creative process.
And for us, it was extremely important to, I don't know if communicate some of that vulnerability, but certainly to bring it onto the stage and push ourselves to a point of feeling unsure.
I love having the chance to explore all these music, books, newspaper. We delve into everything, into diaries, the Beethoven Testament. We use everything to create.
Beauty is in how you bring it all together in a way that has meaning to you, first of all, and then hopefully also to an audience. Una hija hermosa de